And we're back, and I've confused everybody, right? With it's COMP123, and it's lesson 5, week 5, part 3, and we're having a confusing talk about arrays, right? But the good thing about this is you're seeing this stuff. You're seeing it over and over again, which one day will be part of your language. When we speak the language of arrays tomorrow, one day, in the future, you'll laugh at me and you'll say, Tom, that was a silly example, but I get it now, right? This is a very silly example, by the way. I'm not even using classes. I'm just using one big method, right? With a simple method that we used way down here. We just kind of extracted this generate random car down here, right? All right, so what do we do? So one of the things we could do is use this alternate looping structure we talked about down here, right? And make this the alternate. Let's make that happen. So we'll say, put this in stasis. We'll try that out, right? This is what happens, right? We'll check this out and we'll say, you know what? This is the alternate looping structure now. Okay, ugly like it is. We'll leave it the way it is. And we'll take this other one because it's way down here that we originally created, and we'll use this one just for a second, just to go with our Smarties suggestion, right? Because why not, right? And we'll take it out of stasis, but we'll copy some other elements that we're missing from the other one, right? So we'll take this out of stasis right now. And now this is our new looping structure. We have some stuff down here we need to use, right? So I still think we need to do this random generation thing, right? Oops. I don't want to copy it. I'm sorry, I want to cut it. I want to copy it. So I want to do this up here for sure. I want to do that. I want to generate the random number. This for sure. I want to do these two things. And this. So I want to do all this, right? And I want to do this in here, where the console is. So I want to do all that. That's the same as it was. The difference between this looping structure and the original one, this for loop, is that I have control over my index, right? Here, it's looping, the index is looping up here automatically, every iteration. Here, I can choose whether to iterate or not, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, if this is true, iterate, right? That's the only time I'll iterate. Otherwise, we'll just keep running this, or we'll keep running through this loop over and over again. Because I'm not going to increase my index. I'm not going to increase my index. I'm going to regenerate that number again, right? I'm going to regenerate that number again. So I've got the random number generation, and if my random number hits me in a spot of my original list, this is why we have a problem. My car make list doesn't make any sense, right? You guys are confused. Let's call this original list and new list, just to keep it nice and simple. What do you think? I'll just refactor. So I'll go refactor, rename, and we'll call this original list. Oh, gee, come on. Original list. Oh, how about the original array instead of using list? Original array, right? Here it is, apply. And we'll make this new array. Okay? Oh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Let's go back here, little doggy. And we'll do rename. We'll call this new array, which is kind of weird. I'm almost using the new keyword, but who cares? All right, now we got some clarity. Right now, some of this may not make any sense anymore because I didn't go into the into the comments. So this alternate looping structure is invalid right now, right? Because now I'm using two different. I'm using new array and original array as opposed to car make list and temp car make list, right? Which doesn't make any sense. Let me do that. Let me do that refactor one more time. Okay, so car make list. Just bear with me. I'm going to refactor. I'm going to rename, and this time I'm also going to search comments, right? I'm going to call this original lists, original array. Sorry, I know you guys are killing me. You're going to kill me now, right? And this one is going to be refactor, rename, in the comments, new array. Okay, good. Now, even my comment should be okay. So you can, just in case you have to uncomment this, it's going to work. And it's the same thing with this, right? Okay, this is cool. So what I'm saying is, let's go through this statement again. Set my index to 0. This is my pointer, right? And then check at the beginning of the while loop if my index, my pointer, is less than the original length of the array. Okay? So that means I can only go through, and this is bad because do I really want it to check my original array? No, I only want it to go through 3 times, not 6 times, right? So this would be very bad. So that means I can't do this, so this is an inherited thing. I made a mistake. I need to do this. So this has got to be up here. That's the first error. So I made a copy of my original loop, which didn't make any sense. So I'm looping through the new array length. The new array length is 3. Okay, I'm only going to go through this 3 times, potentially, right? But it starts off at 0, okay? And then I generate this random, and instead of random car, just because I think we should refactor this to make more sense, I'll say generate random member, right? Random member, right? So we know it can apply to anything. Example, if you use this and copied it into your assignment 2, probably work, right? Let's just do that. Generate random member, and I'm going to change this to the new. I'll call this new member. A random member, maybe random member. Okay, just so that way we're very clear on how this all works, right? Okay, so the original array, we're going to get a random member of the original array. Now it talks to us, right? Is not equal, as long as it's not equal, the value of it is not equal to unavailable, then, if that's true, so the value is its own, it's forward, whatever, the regular value, then do this. Get my new array, my index from my new array, so 0 as an example, and make it equal to the original array, the random member from the original array, okay? And then what I want to do is I want to take the random member, whatever that is, or the position, if you will, from the original array, and make it unavailable. Just assign it. Just change the value of that to show unavailable. That way, when I come check this again, it's going to say, oh wait, it's unavailable, I can't use it. All I'm doing is setting it so that I can't use it again. That's all I'm doing. And then if this is true, increase my index count from 0 to 1. Okay, so I move to the next place. If it's not true, don't do any of that and just generate my random number again. So I'm just going to roll that number again. And this way, I'll never generate a second member again that's the same, if this works. Let's take a look. Unless I messed up somewhere, like I have somewhere. Where's my build issues? Somewhere down the line. Here it is. No. Let's try building this again. I'll clean the solution. There we go. And I'll build it again. See if we don't get any build errors. A local variable named index cannot be declared in the scope because it would give a different meaning to the to program.cs. Where is that? Oh. Right. And the reason for that is because we used index up here, right, as a global variable that is already known, and we're declaring index as a variable we're using in our for loops. This would be bad, right? Unless, of course, we were to not initialize it here and did something like this. So otherwise, we're redeclaring it, right? This way, I'm just resetting it. This would be bad. This is bad, by the way, right? I should probably do something like, now make it an I or end or something weird. Like, you know, like we'll call this, because this is our original length, we're kind of looping through, right? Let's just call it I, just for now, just so that way we do that. But if we do that, I have to refactor, right? Because unfortunately, I have index here as well. So let me just leave it as index. I just won't declare it again. Okay, let's run this now. Okay, cool. Here's an example. Look, here's an example of a duplication, right? I went through, the first one I chose was a 4, right? Well, if you remember, number 4 is forward, right? Then I chose number 1. It marked 4 unavailable once I chose it. Right, here it is. Then it chose 1. It marked that unavailable after I chose it, right? And then because my original list got changed, right? This is my original list, it got changed. And then it marked 3 after I changed it, right? When it went to 4, it kept looping. It'll keep looping until it finds another member. So even though I only need 3, it looped 4 times. It generated 4 numbers. because I got 4 again. I got 4 once, I got 4 again, and because of this, I had to keep looping until I found another one. Let's try it again, and then I'll update this to GitHub. Here's another one. Oh, look at these ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I still got 3 original members. Right, 3 original things here. Let me try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 zeros, darn, right? But again, my members here, original. They're unique. Let's try it again. 2 4s, okay? But again, I'm good to go, right? So this is how we test our cases. Our test cases have to be such, whoa, a bunch of them. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, a bunch of duplicates. And so I generated all these ones, but I still only came up with this. So this is your algorithm, guys. Even though it doesn't show a power list or whatever, this little nugget right here, I give to you from the bottom of my heart. Right? You may not understand it, but use it for God's sake. Right? And by the way, you need this piece too. You can't do it without this. Because this little generate random member, right, is that extracted method that I used. And if you don't use that, then you can't get this. Right? You won't be able to get the value of this into your random member. Okay, let's upload this and let's talk about the test just for 5 more minutes tomorrow. I'm going to go to, I'm going to stop debugging. You guys are going, I don't understand what he just did. Well, how did he do that? What? Completed ugly, I'll say ugly algorithm. We'll do this nice and beautifully next time. Because that's what this is. This is brute force. This is the ugliest algorithm you could ever make on the planet Earth to do this thing. With the tools we have, though, you know, it's like bear. You know, what do they say? Stone knives and bear skins, right? To do this one. Okay, I've synced up with GitHub. You have everything. You have the actual one, right? You have the alternate looping structure, by the way, that didn't work, right? You have an alternate way to declare the initialize the array, which didn't work. And then you have some console.write lines that actually that does make it work. Okay? Any questions around this stuff, what I did? Yeah.
Since don't we have any methods in some particular class which does the checking of a member in an array?
Yeah, you do.
So what can we use that?
It's called a list.
Easier, right?
List is the right way to do it. List structure. Well, we haven't covered that, you said, right? So if you haven't covered lists, how can I cover it with you? That'd be bad. It'd be remiss of me to try and force you to use this structure that you haven't covered, right? Okay, let's talk about tomorrow before you run away. So tomorrow, when you come in, 8:20, right? I'll have a multiple choice test waiting for you. Don't fall asleep. Don't kill me yet, right? I know you're dying. I killed you already, right?
Problem is, your experience coding brain remembers that that's a long sheet of code.
I'm never gonna make you do that.
I know, but when you're spending a lesson and you're at the bottom, and it was really difficult for me to keep along, but I did. And then we go up and we do something else difficult, and then you scroll back down to the other thing. I've forgotten that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's not
Watch
your
the
fault.
video.
I'm just saying that's exactly.
The video is there. You watch it again, right?
That's exactly how.
Capture it again, because you know what? You need to see that again. And I can only show it to you 1 or 2 times. This is the problem. This is why I do videos. I do videos not because I care about YouTube, right? I do videos so that you guys can see it again, and I didn't get that. See it again, try it again yourself, try it again, see it again. Because, oh, okay, then maybe it'll click, and you'll see that you get that light bulb in your head. The light bulb doesn't happen, guys, unless you do it. Try it and do it, figure out what I'm doing. I'm using the debugging version, right? The one when I say debugging, I put that line in there. That means that I'm doing that because I want to show outputs to help me, right? To help me know, to help me prove that my output is perfect, that I know I'm not going to get duplicates, right? That's why I got that output. Realistically, when inside this bottom piece right here, with this little line of output down here, I should remove it when I'm like this. I should kind of comment it out, right? It's only my debugging output. When I actually do my final output, it should look like this. I shouldn't have that extra 1, 2, 3. Even this original car list isn't really necessary, right? I should also probably, I don't need to see that. I only need to see my final list. My new list is what I need to see from my original, right? And this original car list isn't really original anymore because I've modified it. So theoretically, what you should do is keep a copy of it in another array and keep the original somewhere else. So you have 3 arrays, one the original, one the modified one, and one the final one, right? I'm not going to go there, though. Okay, so tomorrow, again, let's focus on this because we're not going to finish. Tomorrow, study your terms because those are the things we're going to be talking about on the test. Don't worry about this stuff. This is just to help you with the solution for assignment 2. Okay, that's why we did this today, right? So for Friday, you're good to go because I won't see you after tomorrow, right? And I can't look at your stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow we're testing, right? So that's why I'm doing this for you, so you can get maximum marks by using my algorithm, my ugly algorithm that I put up on GitHub, okay? If you're smart, you'll use something like that, modify it, make it your own, and then it's yours, yeah.
8, 9, 10 in the book.
8, 9, 10, a little bit of 8 because we're not covering all of 8. References, I'm not going to talk about references too much. And all that kind of stuff, right? 9 is all about classes and objects. You should know that thoroughly, classes and objects, how to create a class. You should be able to go into Visual Studio and create a class for yourself in another file, right? You should know how to do that, right? Because that's the practical piece. And a little bit of 10 just on inheritance and how to inherit stuff from a terminology perspective only, all right? I'm not going to test you on inheritance tomorrow in terms of making a subclass. I'm just going to test you on the terminology. Okay? Understood. Any other questions? Yeah.
So for the classes and objects, you're going to give us like code snippets and then
I'm going to give you a little thing to do. I'm going to give you some instructions, and you're going to put it together. All right? Any other questions tomorrow? You got me right now for another 5 minutes. You know what? I waited. We waited. Let's make them wait. 5 minutes. Give it to me, baby. All right? Let's pass it on. Pass the love on. Anyone else have any other questions? You lovely people? Right? Don't worry. I know some of you have got worry in your eyes when you saw what I just did here. Don't be worried. It's just a matter of practicing, right? The only way you can figure out problems is to do the problems, right? I can show you the solution to the problem, but you won't do it until you figure it out. You got to work with. That's why the assignments are there. The assignments are there to train you to do my tests, right? And some of these tutorials that we're doing together, because I look at these as like, like tutorials. You follow along. You do what I do, and then you go, oh, did I get it? Or I didn't get it? Okay, what did he do? Ask the questions, figure out with me, right? And then your assignment comes along. Right? And if you fail on your assignment, if you mess up on your assignment, it's okay because this is the good chance for you to figure things out because assignments are only worth 5%, right? Tests are worth 10%. Tests you're under pressure, right? Any other questions, please, before we depart for the day? I don't want to keep you if you don't have to. If no one asks questions, then there's no reason to stay, right? Okay, I love you all. I just want to tell you that in advance, right? So when tomorrow comes, right, I give you the test with love, okay? Even though you might get, some of you may not be able to figure it out, right? I'm not trying to shaft you for any reason, right? It's purely my requirement, okay? Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.